everybody, it's time to LOL. Listen out loud, that is. It's time for Anime Jam Session with DJ Ranma S, Mako-chan, and Ari Rockefeller.
Hey everybody, welcome to Anime Jam Session, episode number 586. We are that podcast that talks about anime, games, conventions, the fandom, the geek stuff, and everything in between. I'm DJ Ranma S.
I'm Ari Rockefeller.
And I am Mako-chan.
And how is everybody doing tonight?
Meh.
Okay, Ari, tell us how you really feel.
I'll get to that.
I thought I had some rough days. Wow, then. Let's see, what do we have here? I see that. Alright, anywho, let's kind of get into the thicket of things tonight, shall we? We are...
Sure.
Wunderbar! We are live tonight, week of April 25th, 2023, right here on Twitch TV. We're here live Tuesdays from 9 to 10:30 p.m. Eastern. You can always find our show here at Twitch TV/Anime Jam Session. We're also part and proud to be part of the Voice of Geeks Network at vognetwork.com. And they're also on Twitch as well. You can always find them at Twitch TV/VOG Network. They kick things off on Sunday nights with the Bobby Blackwolf Show at 8, followed by Orange Lounge Radio at 9. And come hang out in our Discord at vognetwork.com/Discord. Every show that's part of the Voice of Geeks Network has their own channel. So come through, hang out, and have a good time. And I think it might be time for us to open up that pool once again. So
Almost.
Soon.
Memorial Day will be around on us before we know it.
most definitely. All right, now that we got that all out the way, let's kick things off with how was your week? How was your day, Ari?
Well, about the only good thing that happened to me was that I got paid, but that's not what was making me scream into a pillow just now.
Your beloved sushi pillow.
That was the only thing I had nearby.
Makes sense.
Anyhow, like I said, I may have said last time that my bathroom was being repaired.
Yeah.
Well, this past Wednesday, it was like the repair started. But what they did was they, tore off the tile, tore down the wall. Had to put all new sheetrock and whatnot in it. And this is gonna. Now I knew this was gonna happen over a couple of days.
Right.
So I was okay with that. The only problem was I only had access to my toilet, and so I haven't been able to get washed properly, and it's just making me feel gross and disgusting for the past few days. And I really don't know how people can brag about, not showering for the length of a con or some shit like that. I really don't know how they do it. I so much just not wash my hair a day, and I'm like, oh god, this feels disgusting.
Trust me, I've been there a couple
You're
of times.
looking at me kind of strange, like.
No, I'm not. No. All right, so here's the thing. I follow Star Trek Online on Facebook. They made an announcement that there's something with the server, so only half something about patching the servers, the game, or whatever. But they linked it from Neverwinter Nights. So the social media manager posted the wrong link. And I'm just like, Neverwinter Nights? And somebody went, no, Neverwinter's a free-to-play MMO. Neverwinter Nights is an old RPG. And I'm just like, either or, it's still the wrong link.
Okay then. Anyhow, and basically what they did, like after they put the sheetrock up, they put one of those like, the bath fitter kind of wraps on it. Like I still have a bathtub, but now I have, a nice single sheet of water-resistant plastic on two walls instead of the tile that might fall apart later.
Right.
But hey, I did get him to put in the shower head I had purchased on my own just for that occasion. I haven't gotten a chance to use it yet, but that's neither here nor there. Now, like today, maybe Tuesday last, to put the finishing touches on it because he still has to, sand off some parts and wait for paint to dry on other things. So I'm just very patiently waiting for this thing to get finished. And that was like, but that's not what was driving me to insanity.
What
This
was?
past Sunday, I had caught a some kind of charge on my account for $1.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was from. I didn't recognize it, but it was immediately reversed
Mm-hmm.
by Wells Fargo.
Right.
I called them up to ask about it. And like, yeah, we flagged this as fraudulent. And like, okay, so there's nothing else you've done, right? I mean, they're like, yeah, we completely canceled your card and we'll have to send you out a new one. I'm like,
isn't that the second time that's happened to you?
yeah,
Okay.
it is. I'm like, you didn't have to do all that. I'm like, yeah, we didn't, but we did. And I'm like, oh my fucking god. And it said, and I had to, pretty much negotiate with these people like they're freaking terrorists or something to be like, okay, we'll have it rushed out to you FedEx within the next 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Now today was the day we were supposed to come and drop it off.
Right.
But in the order it happened was the the driver pulls up, the driver leaves, the driver says they couldn't deliver the package. At around 10 o'clock, I woke up today. So yeah, I woke up without knowing that they had even swung by. And there was like, and I'm looking at the stats they sent me, like, there was an attempt. No, there wasn't. So I'm like calling like speaking like 3 or 4 different people in FedEx, asking like, where the hell is this going? I'm like I can't wait for this anymore, people. This is my money, and I'm worried. Like, that's a big concern for me.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I had to negotiate them down to, okay, we'll try to have the guy come back maybe by 2 o'clock, like 2 o'clock to 2:30, because it was either that or wait until the guy got done his shift at around 4-ish and drive to the nearest FedEx station where he would have the other packages and pick it up sometime after 4:30. I'm like, can't do this either. And like, my eyes twitching, I'm getting a freaking migraine and whatnot. So I finally catch the guy at around 2-ish.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to, and once I get the card and get it reactivated, I have to go through all the things where my credit card information was stored and, re-enter it so I don't suddenly lose service with something.
Right.
All because the bank overreacted over a $1 charge.
See,
and I ended up buying Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster on the Switch to help make myself feel better.
and I get that.
It's been working so far. I'm like about an hour or so into the first game.
Yeah, I finished 1, 2. I'm at the end of 3 because I have FF3 for DS. Got my ass handed to me by the final boss. I said, fuck it. Played a little bit of 4. Never finished, never started 5. Quarter ways through 6. Finished.
You suplex the train?
Yes, I did.
Yes.
Completed 7. Didn't start on 9. I refused to deal with 10. 10-2, I'm halfway through. 12, I started, then my roommate took over and finished the game. 13, I started, and roommate took over and finished the game. 13-2 and 13-3 are sitting here, and I just hadn't started because I realized my PS3 sounds like a jet engine, so now I actually think I have it. I think I have physical copies of it for 360, where if you pop it in your Xbox, you get the HD versions of it. At least I think I have them. I'm going to have to go look. I mean, granted, I could get them dirt cheap digitally, but there are some games that are tangible that I'd like to buy, like to hold on to,
But yeah, that was like,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, dealing with both Wells Fargo and FedEx has undoubtedly turned a lot of my hair gray. And I still feel dirty as fuck all. And, well, I had to take off from work today so I could be home for the expedited shipping because they said, hey, we have to have someone to sign for this.
Yeah, given what that is. See, if it was me, after getting that card, I would have gone to the gym, had a hot shower, worked out, had a hot shower, and gone home.
Yeah, the showers at the gym don't. I feel like they don't really get me clean
But at least
completely.
it's probably slightly cleaner than the normal than what you've been doing, which I totally get. I do know.
And I wouldn't even think of going to the pool in this state because
Mm,
the friggin' smell of chlorine
yeah,
clings to me even after I get showered and
yeah. See,
cleaned up.
no, and I totally get that. I just know, thankfully, my bank. If let's say that has happened to me before. Like I know there's been a couple of times like there's been a fraudulent or whatever. They have reversed the transaction and just let it be. Now, if it happens again within a certain time frame, they will tell me go into the branch, tell them what happened, and they will issue me a new card right then and there. My bank does that, thankfully. And in the event they couldn't do it, I would probably not flip out because I would probably write myself a check for like $60 to have in my pocket, or as much as I hate to, depend on my credit cards for like between the period of not having a card. Or one thing I actually have is a PayPal debit card, and that's linked to my checking account. So at least it's like, well, at least I have this.
Well, I wasn't.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
had off
yeah.
yesterday, and I
Mm-hmm.
took off today, so I wasn't going anywhere. So
All right.
I didn't have that much money to spend. Like, have any place
True.
to spend money anyway, so
No,
it wasn't that big a deal.
yeah, but you know what I mean, though.
So yeah, hopefully next time I'm on, I'll have some better news to talk about.
Yeah. And now it got me thinking. I remember I don't always check my accounts because I know what I'm buying. I know what I'm spending.
Hmm.
The only time I really check is like when I get paid. And I figure out the bills and so forth. And I will scan a couple of weeks because I know what I'm buying. It's not like I'm buying lunch at. And I remember one time I saw this charge for like $65 on my. I'm just like, what the? It was for some prepaid prepaid. I was like, nah, this ain't me. This sure as hell ain't me. So, but
So yeah, that's
yeah.
how my weekend day's been going.
Gotcha. Mako-chan, how was your week? How was your day?
Um, Week has been okay. Uh, we were going to do some work outside this
Mm-hmm.
weekend and start getting that all cleaned up,
Yeah.
except that it rained.
Of
All
course it rained.
Yeah. So, basically, I did a little bit of cleaning around the house, and then played a shit ton of Persona 5.
Mm.
Very close to being done with the game, and then I'm gonna restart it.
New game plus.
New game plus with Japanese audio, and I might stream it. I haven't decided on that yet. But other than that, I finally got notification that the 5 pop figures that I ordered over 3 years ago are finally
Wow.
being shipped to me.
That.
So I'm very, very excited about that. And I'm, very happy because we actually, um, I got an email from the company. They're like, yeah, so we're going out of business. So
Oh
whatever pop figures we have in the warehouse, we're going to send them out. And if we can get, the ones that are still on order in, then we'll send those out too. I'm just like, son of a bitch. I can't win. But then I got the notification that all 5 of them should be in the shipment.
Well, that's good, but still, that is fucking wild.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, other than that, I basically just, we were going to be working outside this weekend too, and it's supposed to rain all weekend. So, I might have another weekend of nothing to do, or we might be painting in that room. Don't know yet. But yeah, it's just been it's been a hell of a week.
For a split second, I'm like, it ain't gonna rain this weekend. I don't believe you. I pull up forecast fox. Son of a bitch.
Oh yeah, like all freaking weekend it's supposed to be raining.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, when I looked at it earlier today, it was Saturday, Sunday, and potentially into Monday. Looking at it now, it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and potentially into Monday.
From where I'm seeing, it's just Saturday and Sunday. I don't know about Monday because it's 7 days from today. Whatever. I have it set for 7 days, including today. So now the only reason why I'm cursing is because I have a convention this weekend, and it's not one of those cons where even if there's rain, you can stay inside. No, you can't do that at this convention. Not the ones where there's a convention center and the hotel is like a few feet away. Thankfully, I booked at the closer one, so the walk isn't that bad. But still, oh jeez, you know.
Tabby Cat, I think you will see all of them but me.
She's asking why you're not on. Oh wait, they're not asking why you're not on screen.
No.
Oh, who will I see at Castle Point? I'm sorry, I had to minimize the screen because I was looking at something else. I will be at Castle Point. Cinnamite will be at Castle Point. The others will be chilling at home. So I will be running around, probably wearing my Luigi hat or my Artemis hat with my Vogue staff shirt. And Omnia Style says, get your anime themed umbrellas. And if you go on to AliExpress, you can get them. You will get them.
I have an umbrella that's sheathed that looks like a katana.
I want one of those. I really do. Say hi at the DerpyCon table. I will come by. All right, so my weekend day has been the same old work and so forth. I've been editing convention photos from ZenkaiCon, and Friday is done. Saturday is done. I have to work on the masquerade, and I have to work on Sunday photos. I would like to attempt to get some of the masquerade photos worked on tomorrow night before things I go off into the wild blue cosplay yonder. See, what all did I do? I kind of cleaned up around here, which doesn't say for much because my place is a cluttered mess given all the stuff that I buy. But you know, that's neither here nor there. One thing was Sunday. I actually, let's see if I remember correctly. Yes, Sunday I went out and met up with a friend, an internet friend I have known for years. You know, and one day I know we were friends on Twitter. I just happened to search her Twitter name on Facebook, and I found her, and we've been Facebook friends ever since. So she's in town with her husband celebrating their 1 year anniversary, and I was just like, y'all are here? You ain't tell me? So we kind of started to talk a little. You know, here's the thing about meeting up with people. I don't expect to be at the forefront of anybody's plans like, oh, we need to meet up with Ranma if we're in the city. Don't even worry about that. If I find out you're in the city, if you're in the city on business, I will reach out and be like, look, do you want to meet up for grab food, this or that? If not, don't worry about it. Because I understand, if you're here on business, quote unquote business, like a friend of mine, they were here to buy for fabric shopping, and they were only here for like 1 day. I kind of could have found them and hung out with them for like 10 minutes and gone back home, which is stuff I have done before because it gets me out the house. But if you're here for other, I'm like, let's meet up. Let me know what's going on. You know, that's all it is. And if we can meet up, that's great. If not, I'm not even worrying about it. So, and that was basically been my weekend day for the most part. Oh, and I found some books at work that I will be shipping off to Dark Sakura hopefully this week. And I say hopefully because I am on a 10 to 7 shift again this week. So,
not fun.
Well, it is, but at the same time, it's not. Because it used to be the way it's supposed to be. there's 3 techs in the office, and basically one person has to work to 10 to 7. But the issue is, after a while, you don't want to work that. So we go in the rotating schedules. The way it's supposed to be is each person does a week of 10 to 7, which is fair. Now, because I have prior commitments on Monday and Tuesday nights, and I told my boss I cannot change that. Monday I'm kind of flexible on, Tuesdays absolutely not. So, it used to be I would work 10 to 7 Wednesday to Friday for 2 weeks. One tech would do 2 days would do 2 days of a normal shift and a whole week of a normal shift. No. Something like that. One tech would just do a solid week of 10 to 7 and it would rotate. It'd basically be where each tech, except for me, would do 5 days 10 to 7. Except for me, I would do 6 days. So it's not so bad. Now there's only 2 of us. So basically, I do 3 weeks of Wednesday to Friday of 10 to 7, which gives me 9 days. And the other tech, he does a solid week of 10 to 7, which is 5 days. And he does 3 weeks of 10 to 7 of Monday and Tuesday. Gives him a total of 11 days. And I didn't realize how much of a quote-unquote crimp that would put in my plans. And I say crimp because there are times where I would need to leave at 6 to hit the post office, or I gotta go do this, do some shopping, whatever. It's just that I gotten so used to being home by 7 and not 8. And if I'm out late on a normal shift, and I come home by like 8 o'clock instead of 9 o'clock, it's not so bad. So, but on the plus side, I do get extra 30 to 60 minutes of sleep. I don't have to get up until like 7:30 basically, so, you know. And that's been my week and day. So we're going to go ahead and kick things up, and we're going to get into some housekeeping notes here. Don't forget, episodes of Anime Jam Session are available on our podcast feed, which is usually around tonight. So by the time you're hearing this, it's already on the feed. The video portion of this and older episodes are available on YouTube Thursdays at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. And also, don't forget, we have some conventions coming up on our 2023 convention tour. Let me pull the list back up again, even though I should know off the top of my head. This weekend, we'll be at Castle Point Anime Convention in Secaucus, New Jersey. And next week, we will be at KoguraCon at Middlesex Community College on that following Saturday. And I believe the 21st, we will be at CloverCon. A small con. It's really fun. We like to have our good times with that.
22nd, I think.
It's what?
22nd, I think.
The 22nd.
21st.
Yeah, that's what I figured, the 21st, because I know it's on a Sunday. Yep. I actually thought it was on a different day, because when you Google the con, it has an older date up in the upper right-hand side. I'm like, wait, that's not right.
Yeah, no, it's not updated.
Yeah. And Omniasile says Animazement is the weekend after. I need to take a trip down to Animazement again, even though people have said it is not the same as it used to be. That's okay. I don't mind. I legitimately don't mind. All right, so now that we get that out the way, let's get into... Let me fix this for a second here. There we go. Let's get into Geek Roundtable. Yes, this is the part of the show where we talk more of our geekier aspects of our life and cool geeky stuff we want to share. So, Ari, what do you have for Geek Roundtable? And a message here. Calliope says, I don't update the CloverCon website anymore. I'm retired.
Oh, okay then. So one of the projects I backed on Kickstarter actually shipped out recently, and it came today. It's a board game called Hegemony.
Yeah.
Which is, it's about leading your country through various crises, things like wars, financial issues. Why did my friggin' thing go off?
No, trust me, I know that feeling.
And this was the I got like I got like one of the earlier things, so I got the expansion. Like it comes with one of the expansions to it already built into the game. The crisis and control section. I haven't opened it, as you can see. It's still in its shrink wrap. So you know, and one of the other expansions they came with is called historical events. And like I said, you notice the size of the box here. This is the other thing, the other expansion that they sent me. It's this big.
Wow.
Quite the size differential. But again, I haven't really torn it open and got to look through it with everything that's been going on. So I'm sure that I'll get to it soon.
Cool. All right, so is it the boys again there, Mako-chan?
Yeah, the last couple of weeks they were actually out and active, and of course I put the camera on them this week, and they're not.
They're YCA tricks, woman.
Yeah. But yeah, I just like my shoulder hurts and I'm tired, so I didn't feel like looking for something. But I as soon as I get the new pops, I'll have new pops to show off.
Wait, why is your shoulder hurting? What did you do?
So, at work, my desk is really, really close to the copy machine. So I kind of push off my desk while I'm in my chair and roll to the copy machine to grab my papers and printouts and things like that, and then roll back. And one of the times that I pushed off of the desk, I kind of pinched my nerve in my shoulder. So yeah, my shoulder kind of hurts.
Oh.
That sucks.
First of all, we can't take you anywhere, and secondly, feel better.
Thank you. But I mean, I have to inject some sort of fun in my work day or I go crazy.
Too late.
Well, yeah, I already am crazy, but I kind of already had been.
All right, so for my Geek Roundtable, I don't really have anything to show off per se, except for this cool battery recharger, but I'll save that for next week. But I finished watching Classroom of the Elite. It's really good. I can't wait till season 3 of that. I was going to start on Oshi no Ko, but the first episode is 90 minutes, and I don't have a time period open right now to watch that. Maybe tomorrow, maybe Thursday. Now, I did start on Tokyo Mew Mew New. That's really good. It looks like they're adding a little bit more filler or episodes to kind of do character. I guess I don't want to say character completement, but
character development.
Thank you. That's what I'm looking for. Character development. That's what they are doing with that. So that's pretty cool here. So that's basically been my Geek Roundtable. That and working on convention photos, and I'm hoping that tomorrow I can actually get up the videos from AAC. They're edited, but I need to create like the thumbnail. I just need to create those and put them up and just be like blast them out there and be like, here you go. So, and let's see, it didn't refresh. Hold on. Okay. The thing did not refresh. It should have done that. I don't know why. All right, let's try this again. And there we go. There we go. So now that the Geek Roundtable segment is over, we're now going to go into our first story of the night about a popular voice actor changes his autograph policy. Now, what he's doing, I think all conventions should be doing this, regardless of your temperature check coming in. Popular voice actor Sonny Strait. You will probably know him as the voice of Krillin from Dragon Ball. Hughes from Full Metal Alchemist, the teacher from Assassination Classroom, I forget that character's name, and a few others. Unfortunately, he was hit with COVID. This is his second time in like 4 months catching COVID. I have never had COVID. I know people who have had COVID and dealt with it, and it's not fun. So now he has a new rule. People in his convention lines are going to get their temperatures checked. He has one of those like gun type looking thermometers. His handler will be checking your temperature. If you
Nothing
have
wrong with that.
Yeah, if you have a fever, he will still see you, but you'll be given a mask and you will not be able to come up no more than 6 feet from him, which I think is more than fair. I
Yeah, like, I don't see any issue with this.
No, and and if you look at the comments on his Facebook, everybody is like, "Yes, do this. This is a great idea. I don't blame you," and all that. And I think that's really really good. So what I also feel is that conventions should do this. They should be their handler should be there with the thermometer checking temperatures of everybody before they step up to the table. Like at Zenkai, where they have everybody sitting in the first row, someone can walk by and just check everybody's head, and you're like, you're good. If you're like other conventions where you're on a line, when you're towards the front, temperature checks across the board. And if there's anything that's like that's an anomaly, it's up to the discretion of the voice actor if they want to do an autograph, this or that. It's on them. And I look at it this way: if the voice actor or actress says if they have a temperature, I do not want no, or they stand 6 feet away and be like, that's understandable, and you can't be mad about that because you got to understand the most important part of a voice actor's career is their voice, and being sick is not going to help that at all. So I'm just saying again, I think more cons should do something like that. It's just the little things, really. So, and what are y'all thoughts on that?
I don't see a problem with this. Good for him on wanting to take care of himself.
I don't see a problem with it, but some people still carry illness or can be sick without a fever. So you might as well just say, hey, I'm not going to be doing handshakes
Mm-hmm.
anymore. And, if you want to come within 6 feet, you're going to have to wear a mask.
Yeah.
I mean, there are ways to do it. There are, people that are germaphobes that have very public faces, and most of them will do things to replace handshakes and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that.
I,
Um,
I like. Let me
and Howie Mandel is a fist bumper.
let
Uh,
me let me interject there real quick.
hmm,
I think it was uh 2013 or 2012. This is when I went to PAX East for the first time, and I met Will Wheaton. I think that was the year that like the swine flu was going around, something like that. I totally met Will Wheaton in the hallways. He wasn't doing handshakes or fist bumps, but we were doing like elbow bumps.
mm.
Which because I was like, that is more, and I said to him, that's more than totally fair. And because I couldn't get my picture with him, I took a picture of him. So I thought that was really cool. So
Yeah.
maybe if I
Yeah,
had a cooler phone, I could have done a long distance selfie, be like, hey,
yeah. I mean, there are ways to do it, but I mean, you have a very public lifestyle,
Yep.
and unfortunately, a lot of voice actors, when they get sick, they're just out of work.
Mm-hmm.
And the companies that you work for, they are not going to be happy if you have to take off too much
Mm-hmm.
when you have lines.
Yep.
especially if you are a character that is, in the cast repeatedly. Because
Or a
when you
main character, especially.
right, I mean, you
Mm-hmm.
get sick and they're just going to go, all right, we're going to find somebody else. Sorry. And one, you're out that money. And two, it really disappoints the fans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Um, and you gotta, sometimes they'll be very understanding and sometimes they won't.
Well,
And
if they're
you have,
not, if
and
they're
you have to worry about if the fans like your replacement more than they like you.
if they're not willing, fuck them. That's all. That's all I gotta say.
Right. So, I mean, and, we've been saying that, people are still getting sick. It's not like this has gone away, but even without COVID, you have, and everybody has experienced con plague.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you have a very large group of people that are not necessarily as hygienic as they would normally be, or just you have people in a very small area breathing the same stale air that everybody else is. So it's very easy to get sick in these situations. So something like this does make sense. But at
Mm-hmm.
the same time, fever is not the be all end all of the figure of being sick. So if you want to make sure of that, then it's just here's a fist bump, here's an elbow bump, and please wear a mask.
Yep. Again, more than fair. And if you don't like it, tough.
Yeah, I mean, there are still some conventions out there that have the plexiglass divider
Mm-hmm.
when you're taking pictures with people. And I mean, you can get all up on the plexiglass divider. You just can't, give a hug or anything like that. A lot of conventions got rid of them, but there are still some because the actor or the actress or whoever requests it.
Yep.
And so it's brought out because they have them.
And as Omnia Style says, I've got masks for each of my costumes ready for animation. Good for you for being a smart person.
I also thought it was neat when people were incorporating being masked into their
Yeah.
cosplays.
AX was actually having a contest about that too. I thought that was pretty cool. All right, so we're going to move on to our next story here. If it
Anime cover art plagiarized for textbooks.
Mm-hmm. How did this happen?
Uh, Bolivia's Ministry of Education has
Oh, there you
acknowledged
go.
multiple cases of artwork plagiarism discovered in the undercover covers of its textbooks. These books, issued for 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th graders, feature trace assets from several popular manga and anime. Orange, Weathering with You, Your Light in April, and Fruits Basket were among the identified plagiarized works. Bolivia's Ministry of Education, and while I'm thinking about it, I will put a link to the article in the chat so you can look at it with us.
Mm-hmm.
They felt uh, Bolivia's Ministry of Education felt he needed to address the plagiarism after waves of condemnation rose from anime fans on social media. According to Edgar Parry, the Bolivian Minister of Education, his organization is considering taking legal action and disciplinary measures against government-hired artists involved in the incident. Parry also stated that the ministry is not planning to recall the textbooks since the contexts are not problematic and are appropriate for the intended age groups. And we have 1.1 million textbooks in the students' hands across the country.
Whoops.
Ichigo Tanago's Orange manga debuted in Beso Margaret magazine in 2012. It's a romance drama that revolves around a 16-year-old girl named Naho Takamiya who receives a letter from her future self that compels her to help the transfer student named Kakeru Narase overcome depression. Telecom aired the film and TMS Entertainment adaptation to Telecom Animated Film and TMS Entertainment adapted the manga into a 13-episode series in 2016. Telecom also produced an anime film titled Orange Mirai, which offers an alternate retelling of the series from multiple characters' perspectives.
Hmm.
And yeah, if you want to you want to look at the pictures, and yeah, it's pretty easy to see where they were going with. I mean, the poses do look very similar, and the characters that just portrayed so are just looking more culturally not appropriate. Like they look more like like Bolivian kids, I guess you would say.
It's sort of, in a way, it's sort of like how a Japanese game will come to the States and they'll change like the sprites of the characters, but everything else is still intact, and it takes like a smart eye to be like, wait, that's that game. I totally get it though.
Yeah, some like the first like the second and third one, it's just like parts of it were taken, but
Mm-hmm.
if you look at like the last one, it's pretty much just like a copy and paste kind of thing.
Got you.
Like I don't even think they you know like the textbook version doesn't even you know take the perspective into account. It's like the textbook one, the camera's like looking at him front on, but for the cover of Orange, it, is it? I guess it's a cover, or I'm not sure if it's a movie poster, but the camera's kind of like pointing down at him from an angle.
Mm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do. All right.
So these are like how would you gotta have like a really weird kind of like eye for pointing out stuff like this. I would have never guessed that the stuff was traced.
You look, that happens a lot more than you think. Cause some like the whole what's like that Butch guy. I forget his name. The one that was accused of doing the trace drawing of Girl Type Ranma. He worked on
Butch Hartman.
Butch Hartman. Yep, him. Yeah, the whole Butch Hartman drama. Don't forget about that.
That wasn't even no. That was tame compared to what Nick Simmons did.
What did Nick Simmons do?
He traced like One Piece, Death
Oh,
Note, and
right,
like three or four
right.
other manga to pass off as his own.
Oh, you talking about Gene Simmons' kid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I remember that now. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hell, one episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged was described as just about the only thing Nick Simmons didn't plagiarize.
Wow. Shots fired. All right. Moving on. We're gonna get a little bit serious here. We have an update on the Kyoto Animation case.
Yeah, so pretrial proceedings for the Kyoto Animation arson murder will begin on May 8th. At the pretrial proceedings, the court, prosecution, and defense will decide on the specific schedule and the number of days required for the main trial that will take place between early September and late December.
Mm-hmm.
The discussion at the pretrial proceedings will also include any prior issues and evidence. So for those that might not know, this occurred on July 18th of 2019. A man walked into Kyoto Animation Studio with 40 liters of gasoline, poured it all over the studio and several of the employees before setting everything on fire. There were 70 people inside the building, and the fire killed 36 and injured 33. So yeah, this is, a very big studio who did quite a bit of, very popular anime. It's also why a lot of the anime had to be delayed for a little while because of, basically them not having a place to
Mm-hmm.
come back to. But you're looking at Violet Evergarden, K-On, Sound Symphonia, A Silent Voice, Free, and they also did Dragon Maid.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they ended up putting on a couple of different events to try and raise money for the victims. and they did end up by the end of 2019 raising over 3.3 billion yen to support the victims and affected families. The reason why the guy did it is because he basically said that they ended up stealing one of his ideas and running with it and making a lot of money, and he was pissed off about that.
Mm.
But yeah, so the fact that it's been so long since it occurred, um, one, they had to wait until he healed because he burned himself in this. But the fact that it's taken so long for this trial to actually get underway, the fact that this is still just pre-trial and them getting things together, it's a foregone conclusion. They caught him in the act. It's just a matter of what his sentencing is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
That will take a bunch of evidence into account. That'll take the victims into account. So we'll see exactly what time they allocate to give to all of this evidence, because obviously, they're not going to drag it out for weeks and weeks and weeks just so everybody can say their piece when everybody knows that he's guilty.
Works for me.
Mm.
All right, let me look at my rundown list again. All right, so we have some good news coming up. Saint Seiya is coming back. Really?
Hooray!
I mean, I actually have like 2 of the DVDs. If I don't have my, I might have given them to Mako. But I was actually watching it for a bit because I actually wanted to collect the series. But now that it's
I
streaming,
think this is one of the series that I have the collection of. I think I bought the box set.
hmm, it's probably the original series that ADV put out.
It might be. I
Yeah.
I would have to try and find it. I don't know where it is.
Okay.
A lot of that stuff is still packed.
Mhm. But I'm taking this one, right?
Yep. Yep.
So, with the characters from Saint Seiya preparing to head to the big screen, the upcoming live-action Knights of the Zodiac film, uh, the classic TV anime adaptation, which originally aired in Japan from 1986 to 1989, is officially available to watch in English territories. Saint Seiya: Knights of the Zodiac is now live with the remastered English dub.
Mm.
Uh, the classic Saint Seiya: Knights of the Zodiac anime is also available to watch on Crunchyroll in Latin American territories with both Spanish and Portuguese dubs. I'm guessing, since they said remaster, it's not gonna be like the thing they put out in the
No. No.
in the early odds with them bleeding green.
No. No.
Oh,
No.
bleeding Gatorade. There we go.
Here's the thing. All right. So the original uncut series is Saint Seiya.
Hmm.
The dub that was on TV, they called it Knights of the Zodiac. I forget the Spanish title, but the Spanish version of Knights of the Zodiac was basically the Latin American name of the series.
Yeah,
So,
it was Knights of the Zodiac translated into
yeah.
Spanish.
Yeah, and I believe there was an like 2 updated series. There was another reboot where the main character was female. There was like a CG series, and now we have the upcoming movie. So, from
Los
what
Caballeros del Zodiaco.
that's it. Thank you. And what in this remaster is basically this is the original one that ADV put out. So this is basically the box set that Mako-chan has. And I'm definitely going to have to watch this. It'll just be part of my pending list because I have like a whole shit ton of anime. Woo! Yeah, Bonds006 says, yep, watch the reboot with the female protagonist. And I've heard nothing but good things about that. And
I
now,
didn't know they had a reboot with a female main character.
yeah, I think it's called Saint Show, something like that. But we're now going to talk about something nobody wants to deal with, and this will probably give other people, other companies ideas, and we kind of don't want that, but it's understandable.
Bad ideas.
What are we talking about? We're talking about Netflix. We may have discussed this earlier on the show or prior episode about password sharing and your account and so forth. So it seems that in the second quarter, Netflix is going to be rolling out a password sharing limit. They originally launched this policy in test markets in Chile, Costa Rica, and Peru back on February 5th. They extended this new password sharing policy to Canada, New Zealand, Spain, and Portugal later in that month. Netflix said in each of these countries there was an immediate cancel reaction, but it was eventually eclipsed by former sharers creating new accounts or paying more to formally add new users to existing accounts. The company has shared the policy on its US FAQ page for removing it and attributing it to an error. The deleted policy FAQ page stated that all devices using a single Netflix account must be associated with one singular primary location that the company will verify through mandatory logins to the same Wi-Fi connection every 31 days. Netflix will prompt secondary users from other locations to register their own account or for a second account. Subscribers who are traveling for an extended period of time will be able to request a temporary code for hotel smart TVs, company laptops, and other in-transit devices for 7 days at a time. Subscribers will be able to add up to 2 secondary users who reside outside the primary location for an additional charge. The streaming service is also offering a profile transfer feature under the new policy that will enable users to transfer queue lists and watch history to another account. The company announced that 1.75 million subscribers in the first quarter of this year, bringing the global total of Netflix subscribers to 232.5 million. The highest number of subscribers in the world for a single streaming service. And on the flip side, if you want to call it that, Netflix announced that it will end its DVD rental service after 25 years. It will ship out its final DVD rentals on September 29th. The company began in 1997 as an online DVD purchase and rental service, but shuttered its DVD sales service after a year. Netflix then became well known as a DVD rental service, with its packaging coming in iconic red envelopes. The company launched its streaming service in 2007, which overshadowed its rental service over time. Now, I decided to stick my head into the forums, which is something you shouldn't do, because half the people in forums don't know their ass from a hole in the wall. We have one comment that says, this doesn't feel like a very good marketing move. People are already upset about it. Netflix is probably the shittiest streaming service I use, and if I didn't pick it back off of a friend's account, I wouldn't use it at all. And so on and so forth. It's basically everybody saying that Netflix is not what it used to be. They're saying F you to Netflix.
Sheesh.
I'm going to be real with y'all. There's no need for you to curse Netflix, because you're going to keep your subscription.
And they're not going to listen to you whatsoever.
If I had a nickel for every time somebody said they were canceling their subscription, I'd have enough nickels to buy people's subscriptions regardless. I still have money left over. You're just mad.
Honestly, I forgot they even did that. Like, I didn't know anyone who actually rented DVDs from any.
My old
rented DVDs.
My old roommate, he did that. It was like $10 a month, to rent a DVD back and forth, which is certainly better than paying a fee to rent the DVD for 3 days and then get late fees if it's not back in time.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, let's be real. You're going to keep that Netflix subscription. You're going to renew that Netflix subscription because you're cheap. Now, here's my thing. I share my Netflix subscription with Mako. And Mako has a backup in case something goes wrong. Now.
I don't.
Oh, you don't?
Mm-mm.
What happened?
I never had her information.
Oh.
So when I switched everything over to our account, I lost her information.
Whoops.
Yeah.
All right. So, my thing is, you have other providers who are allowing account sharing and so forth. but it's kind of given account share within the household. Now, if Netflix charges like $2 a month for just secondary account to watch outside, $2 is not going to break your wallet. It really isn't. I think it's kind of messed up that you have to pay more money for a higher tier of streaming like 4K, which I do understand because that's a lot more bandwidth, you know? So the only thing is I see is that we could see Max, Paramount Plus, Crunchyroll, High Dive. I can see them trying to do this as well. Look,
Not looking
As soon
forward.
as all of the other streaming services do this, everybody is going to go back to stealing shows.
what made you think? What made you think they stopped?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, it's not as bad as it was because of the password sharing. Because a lot of the series, oh well, it's on Netflix and I don't have Netflix, so I'll just stream it. I'll just grab it from online.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the reason why all of these streaming services were successful was because it was cheaper to password share and get rid of cable.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now that everybody will have to have their own password, it's not cheaper to have all of these. So a lot of these companies are going to go bye bye. It's just a matter of what ones are going to attract whoever.
Mm-hmm.
Because not for nothing, I have Disney Plus and I have Disney Plus connected to Hulu. That is the only reason why I have Hulu. I almost never watch anything on Hulu. So if it got to a point, I would probably get rid of Disney Plus and Hulu because it's the one that I watch the least. The ones that I watch the most are Netflix and Amazon Prime. So unfortunately, those are both the ones that I password share for.
Mm-hmm. I password I password share Netflix, Amazon, and Hulu. I'm getting hookups for Paramount Plus, Crunchyroll, and probably another one I'm forgetting. Oh yeah, I'm also paying for a High Dive, and I'm sharing that. But $50 for a year, a High Dive ain't bad. It really isn't. So we'll see
No,
how this.
I mean, and then you have something like how Ranma and I have it.
Mm.
We have a telephone family plan, and our Netflix comes through that. So, here it is that this is a secondary system that is giving us the streaming service, and then we can't both use the streaming service,
Mm-hmm.
which is just, again, ridiculous.
And it's interesting. Like I have a Fire Stick with all the streaming services on there. I take the conventions, so we have something to watch. Half the time, I don't even break that stick out. We're just by the time we get back to the room, it's like whatever's on TV, or whatever game console is hooked up, and 9 times out of 10, it's a Switch and it's YouTube on there. So let's roll with that.
Yeah, sometimes it's easier just going through YouTube and finding funny videos than sitting down and watching an actual
Mm-hmm.
TV show.
But I still have it just in case, because you never know.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho, we're gonna get into our last story of the night before we get into Meanwhile in Japan, and I think this will bring out the little otaku in all of us.
Yeah, I kind of really want some of the shirts in this line, but Uniqlo is doing a T-shirt line of Dragon Ball history, and this is going to be Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball Super, I think. But the Dragon Ball manga ran for 11 years, and its anime adaptation for an even 10. So when the when the new line came out, they had plenty of story arcs to choose from. But basically, they decided to go with all of them. So what they did is it's called the History of Dragon Ball Collection.
Mm.
And just like there are 7 Dragon Balls, there are 7 shirts in the lineup,
Nice.
each representing a different arc of the franchise from its beginning through the end of what became the Dragon Ball Z section of the anime. So there you go. For the Son Goku Boyhood arc, we see young versions of Goku and Bulma from back in the day when Dragon Ball's protagonists still needed to rely on motorized vehicles to get around. It's a really cute shirt. It has what looks like a little piece from the manga on the front of Bulma with a capsule, and then the back has her capsule motorcycle thing with Goku riding behind her.
Mm-hmm.
The Tenkachi Budokai arc, which is in Goku Gi Orange, has Goku and Krillin chilling on the chest with the Dragon Ball logo. From the Saiyan arc, it's a Dragon Ball Z logo on a blue shirt with a little picture of Attack of the Saiyans, Dragon Ball Z on the back with Goku and Vegeta. Again, this looks more manga art than anything else. Naturally, Frieza claims the largest territory on that shirt. It is a black shirt with Frieza and Goku with the Dragon Ball Z on the bottom. This looks a little bit more anime-esque. Then there are the Android Arc Tee, which is a white shirt with a yellow and blue print of Android 16, 17, and 18. Again, looking more from the anime. And then while every shirt in the collection features awesome artwork, the real standout is the father and son scene for the Cell arc, which is really, really cute. It again is on a white shirt. It is Goku and Gohan as Super Saiyans on the back of a motorcycle eating ramen.
That's adorable.
And last but not least, Boo has the Majin Buu arc. He is by himself and in Kid Buu form on a purple shirt. So all of the above will be available in men's sizes, small to extra, 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 extra large, and priced at about 1,500 yen, which is $11.50. There's also going to be a kid size lineup, and that will only have, they'll have the same pictures from the Cell and Saiyan arc, but different ones for the Frieza and Majin Buu arc. The Frieza arc one is a brown shirt with just black outline stenciling on the back with Dragon Ball Z and Goku and Frieza fighting each other. And then the Buu arc is, again, a purple shirt, but it has basically the entire crew of the Buu arc with Buu holding up the Dragon Ball logo with the other characters on top of that. And then, yes, that means there are no kid-size history of Dragon Ball shirts for the Son Goku Boyhood, Budokai, and Android arcs. The final thing that is part of this, because if you're having trouble picking just one or even just 6, you might want to consider the 10,900 yen complete box, which bundles all 7 shirts and also includes an AR sheet of the 7 Dragon Balls and a special 20 centimeter, 7.9 inch square sticker. So these shirts go on sale May 1st and can be purchased online through Uniqlo Japan's online store.
See, that reminds me when they had the Ranma, when Uniqlo had the Ranma one half shirts, and I didn't buy them because they were all girls, women's shirts. And you're probably thinking, well, why'd you get the men's ones? They didn't have any. And the ones in the women's, those had really cool designs, but they wouldn't fit me. So I was like, whatever. So, and to bring up something we talked about before, I believe a few episodes back we talked about there's ads being run throughout the show. So I will try to adjust the ads during the stream. Even if you have a even if you use your free subscription, they removed ad free viewing. So if you want to watch your favorite Twitch streamers like us without ads, you'll have to sign up for Twitch Turbo, which is like an extra $8 a month, I believe, if I'm looking at this correctly. Nope, $9 a month. Wow. Running a streaming site ain't cheap. I tell you that much. All right. Now that we got that out the way, we're going to get into part of the show that y'all like more than anything else. Meanwhile, in Japan, let's see here.
I take the second one.
Go for it. I'll take the last one.
Okay, I guess I get the first one.
Yes, you do.
All right. So, Sanrio Pearland is turning into Nightmare Land on select nights this summer. So cute and quaint are the best words to describe Tokyo's Sanrio Pearland. The modestly sized Tokyo theme park's connection to the Sanrio family of cute characters gives it a heartwarming charm all its own, with a focus on stage shows and meet and greet events. For example, right now, guests can catch a kawaii kabuki performance starring Hello Kitty, sit back and relax at the Gudetama the movie show, or dance along with Pum Pum Purin at the Purin Purin fitness dance activity. Or if you prefer, soon you'll be able to spend your time at Pearland hanging out with the Devil Tribe instead. The Devil Tribe is just one of 6 groups of nightmares who'll be taking over Sanrio Pearland for 2 nights in June, along with the Zombie Tribe, Creature Tribe, Ghost Tribe, Clown Tribe, and Mad Tribe, the last of which seems to be a broadly and loosely defined alliance of armed mechanics or armed maniacs. The Nightmares are coming as part of the Obaken Nightmare Land events, a team up between Pearland and Tokyo horror entertainment design company Obaken, the same team that organized the zombie camp that Tokyo had a while back. This isn't the first time Pearland and Obaken have joined forces, but this year's event is bigger than ever, turning 6 areas of the park into a massive multi-part haunted house. Being a Japanese haunted house, it's walkthrough format with monsters and other menacing presences leaping out at you. You're tasked with completing a puzzle-solving mission in each area, followed by unlocking the Box of Awakening in order to escape from the horrific realm, with the event's announcement ominously asking, "Can you wake up from this nightmare?" You're also given a sash of life to wear upon entering the park, which the monsters will try to snatch away from you, but there's no word yet on what happens if they snatch your sash of life away. So Nightmare Land will be taking place on the nights of June 10th and 17th, with admission capped at 1,000 victims per night. Pearl Land turns into Nightmare Land from 7 to 10 p.m. after the theme park's regular closing time and requires a separate admission ticket. And tickets can be reserved online for about $45. And if you think it's a great time for family, your littlest children can be given free admission if they are 2 or younger.
That's precious.
Yeah, I don't know that you would want to take your 2-year-old to a haunted house, especially a Japanese haunted house at that. Uh,
You know, when I saw the article for it, I'm thinking, wait, are they gonna make a nightmare version of Hello Kitty,
Hmm.
or she'll probably just make friends with all the mind melting horrors? It'll turn like the inverse of a Kirby game.
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
yeah, I mean it's kind of cool that they are doing something like this, but it seems like the weirdest theme park to do it in.
Okay, fair. All right. So now we're going to get into our second story. Wow. That's all I got to say is just wow.
An
Take a.
Aichi man was arrested for failing to steal a very large donation box from a Shinto shrine. So yeah, these wooden boxes are called Saisen Bako, and are intended for visitors to put money in, either as offering to deities and shrine areas, or just donations for upkeep at the shrine. They can be as high as 10,000 yen bills, but there's the common belief that the 5 yen coin is the luckiest amount to give. But because these boxes are usually out in the open with relatively little security, they're sometimes the target of thieves looking to spend for a little spending cash. So there are stories of someone getting arrested for skimming some sacred scratch off the top, either by breaking a lock, fisting through the slots, or just flipping the whole thing over. But it's much rare to hear about someone trying to steal the entire box.
Wow.
They're really big and usually made out of heavy planks of wood. But one 46-year-old man in Nisho City, Aichi Prefecture, clearly overestimated his strength and tried just that.
That's crazy.
Pardon me. At about 3 p.m. local time on April 20th, nice, the suspect was spotted attempting to pick up a Nisho Shrine's box. A witness called police rushed to the scene, but at the same time it took him to arrive, the man had apparently given up. He was picked up near the temple and only charged with attempted theft because he accomplished nothing. And he admitted the charge. He wanted the money for food, drinks, and cigarettes, but it was too heavy to lift, as he put it. Like, if he was strong to pick one of those up, he had no problem getting a manual labor job. He would have got more sympathy if he'd stopped at food and drink. I mean, they're not wrong. When I was a kid, I used to put chewing gum on a stick and pick coins out. Gross. Use a string or something, you idiot.
Hmm.
Ugh. I know that feeling when I have cigarette money. It makes you a little bit crazy, not helping.
Mm-hmm.
And guess it's time to start working out. Oh, he would, even if he was strong enough, he'd have to carry the highly conspicuous box home in broad daylight, open it, dispose of the evidence, and pick up whatever bad mojo comes with ripping off of a shrine.
Jeez.
I mean, like, I'm not even religious, but I'm like, dude, this is just fucked up. Like, like that's like this is on par with like stealing from a friggin' charity or a homeless shelter or something like that.
It is.
Very much a what the fuck does this?
Now, in a way, I get it and I
Wait,
understand it.
was he unemployed?
Probably, but it didn't say. But he probably
Yeah,
was.
I mean, like if it did say unemployed, I'd be like, really? This guy didn't have a job? You don't fucking say. Like, the hell is wrong with some people?
No, some people are down on their luck.
All right, you can have the last one.
Thank you. Now, our last story of the night, which, oddly enough, when it comes to KFC, the articles usually somehow come to me. Gee, I wonder why.
Hey, you had the option of taking the first one.
Oh, God.
That is true, but that's more up your alley. I dare not deny you of that. So, as you know, KFC is famous for its fried chicken, and other chains are well known for their hash browns. But what if you could combine the two together for the ultimate indulgence? Well, that dream is about to become a reality thanks to a new range coming to Japan called the Karihoku Hash Filet Burger.
And every stoner in the Japanese house suddenly went, huh?
Well, let's be real. And the Mako-chan's probably going, go on, scratching her chin. Karihoku combines the Japanese words for crunchy and soft and crumbly, which perfectly describes the textural sensation of these new burgers. KFC says the hash browns have been specially made with fine granulated breadcrumbs and heated at the lowest possible temperature to maintain a slightly chewy texture in the potatoes so they don't crumble when combined with the other fillings. I just realized it's been a very long time since I've had hash browns. There are three.
Like the hash brown patties?
Yeah.
They're really good, especially when they're really crispy.
Mm-hmm. There are 3 different burgers you can get. Anything ranging from to barbecue and spicy flavors. They have what's called, the first one is the Karaoke Hash Filet Burger. And let's see. The barbecue sauce in this burger has been carefully crafted after trialing over 40 kinds of ingredients to create the perfect mix that complements both the fried chicken and potato. My God, when I go to Japan, I'm going to come back 15 pounds heavier. Maybe 5 with all the walking I'll be doing. Now, there's also the Karihoku Hash Spicy Filet Burger. There's a salsa sauce in the burger to help provide a sweet heat to the mix, with a cheddar cheese sauce serving to balance the overall taste while marinating the spicy impact. Interesting thing. Saturday, I ordered Mexican for dinner, and I paid $1.50 for extra salsa. And when I got my food, there was an extra container of sauce. And I'm just like, I ordered salsa. Oh, wait a minute. Salsa is sauce. I'm thinking like the salsa that you put on tacos and stuff like that, you know? Like for the dip, you know, that when you dip your chips and stuff like that. I'm thinking that, you know, but the heat wasn't so bad. And now we have the Karihoku Hash Filet Burger. This forbidden burger sandwich has the hash brown between 2 pieces of fried chicken, creating a heavyweight and overwhelming presence that promises to be the most filling option in the whole collection. All the burgers are set to go on sale at KFC stores nationwide starting tomorrow, but they're only being made in limited quantities, with sales ending soon as they run out, so be sure to get in quick if you'd like to try them. And if we have any fans in Japan who are going to try these burgers out, the sandwiches out, please let us know. We'd like to hear from you.
Also, they're made from 2 chicken patties. This, like, KFC is being introduced, like, Japan KFC is being introduced to the double down.
Yeah, but the double down doesn't have any bread on it, right?
No, it's just, like,
go.
2 pieces of chicken with the bacon and cheese in the middle of it. And some sauce.
I haven't had that in years. I don't think I want another one.
It was only back for a little while, I think.
Yeah.
And also, with the hash browns in it, it technically makes this a breakfast double down.
That is true.
I mean, KFC doesn't serve breakfast, so we wouldn't see that over here, but, you know.
And I could see myself eating that and dipping it in maple syrup. And Bonzo06 says, hold up. When is that coming to the States? There is a KFC 3 blocks away from me. I don't think this is coming to the States. The closest to a Japanese influence on food in the States in a retail chain we've had is 7-Eleven. I mean, 7-Eleven is owned by a Japanese corporation now. And some of the stuff that they have in those konbinis we're starting to see here. So it's not so bad, you know? But let's be real. Japanese 7-Eleven convenience store food is definitely leaps and bounds better than what we have here. So
Yeah, it's on a much higher echelon.
Yeah. So, shall we go ahead and wrap up the show for tonight?
Sure.
Awesome. All right, let me cue up the theme so we can transform and roll out. And Bonzo6 says, I'm 15 feet away from a 7-Eleven. You lucky bastard. Anywho, if you like tonight's show, tell a friend. The intern will tell another friend, and so on and so forth. We're independent bloggers. We're independent podcasters. We do this for the fun of it. So what we like and don't like, we're going to tell you straight up. If you have any questions about the show, you can drop us a line at podcast@animejamsession.com. Again, that is podcast@animejamsession.com. We're here to believe you. Don't forget to check out our website at animejamsession.com, where you will see our weekly podcast, convention reports, anime reviews, editorials, cosplay tips and tricks, cosplay interviews, and a whole lot more at animejamsession.com. Don't forget to follow our podcast on your portable device, your Android phone or your iPhone or whatever. Download any podcasting app, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify. Search Anime Jam Session. All of our episodes are there, so definitely check them out. And what's cool is these apps have the ability for you to leave a review. So if you have a couple of minutes, please leave a review. We greatly appreciate that. And if you're watching live, don't forget to follow us on our social media. YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Follow us and know so you know when we're going live, when articles are going up, when the podcast is going up, and so much more. And if you're participating with us live right now, right below us on the page is a link to our Ko-Fi and our stream elements. If you click on those, you can throw us a few dollars. We really appreciate that. All proceeds go right into keeping the site going and then some. Also, if you want, you can always cheer us on with bits. You can also do gift subscriptions, or you can subscribe yourself. We really appreciate all the little stuff like that. So now we're going to go around the room. Last words, Ari.
I just want to go to bed. This has been a very long-ass day, and I'm tired of it.
Agreed. Last words, Mako-chan.
I am very, very sleepy.
My last words. I have an instant curry noodle in my cabinet. I'm going to eat that, watch anime, edit the show, and go to bed. Well, that is it. End of list. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode, and I'll have my review of Castle Point. I've already have some issues with it, but we will get into that next week. So we're going to transform and roll out and get out of here. So I'm Ranma.
I'm Ari.
And I am Mako-chan.
Great fight, great night. See you next week.
Good night, everybody.
Night.
Say goodnight, Mako-chan.
Good night, Mako-chan.
Perfect. Awesome. We're out of here. See you all next week.
This podcast has been a production of Anime Jam Session and AJS Productions. No fanboys and fangirls were hurt, maimed, shot, electrocuted, or pistol whipped in this episode. For now. The views, opinions, and thoughts expressed on this show do not reflect the staff or the network as a whole. But we're still right, damn it. For transcripts of this episode, start typing. Check us out at animejamsession.com and vognetwork.com for more information about us and other programming. Jamatane!